So anyway, got about 10 minutes into Friendly Geordie's Gina Rhinehardt cult video, and the thing about Gina Rhinehardt is that she doesn't understand that the Catholic God isn't God. That the Catholic God is in fact the devil, and the devil is dead. Anyway, on a completely different note, Yanks out there, there's Indians. Apparently, it was Indian viewers. Hello, namaskara. Anyway, here you go. Okay, so for those that don't know, Gina Rhinehardt is a dying Jabba the Slut wannabe. Technically, you shouldn't slut shame if you try not to do misogyny, but she doesn't care about anyone, so whatever. She never earned a single cent that she's got. She inherited it from Lang Hancock, her father, who was a guy, get this, right, who was quoted as wanting to put some kind of sterilising ingredient in the water to commit genocide against Aboriginal people. Yeah. Now, we don't know why that man wasn't arrested on charges of expression of intent to commit mass murder or crimes against humanity, or why his assets weren't frozen and she's not a broke-ass bitch. I mean, especially considering Rose Porteous was trying to claim it anyway. They should just let her do it. I mean, it's not like the Filipinos weren't ripped off $15 billion by the current president of the Philippines, dad. Oh, who, by the way, that guy was in the administration of when he was a dictator, so this Marcos Jr. character isn't all friendly. So, Rhinehardt should just let Rose Porteous have the fucking money. Don't know why she wanted to pork that guy. Yuck. Anyway, don't know why anyone would. I mean, the progeny was Jabba the Slut, so there's that. See, if you think Clive Parmigiani's a bit of a dickhead for wanting to be Donald Trump, okay, just remember Gina Rhinehardt's father, in other words, the guy that taught her what she knew growing up. Presumably, she's learned something since then. You think, but if Musk is anything to go by, that some people don't learn anything other than how to master the sick world view of their parents. Ew! Anyway, so, yeah, Friendly Geordie, just a reply, couldn't finish your video, did try to turn the brain off. It didn't work properly in the first place. Technically, it blew up years ago, so isn't it amazing that someone whose head literally turned into Swiss cheese about 12 to 15 years ago actually can still recognise fucking stupid? Like, seriously, not an advantage here. Like, literally missing some brain cells, qualify for the disability support pension, technically on it. Still recognise fucking stupid. Anyway, what the flying fuck? Okay, so all that was seen there was Afrikaner Boers sucking up the ass of vagina Rhinehardt, and this stinky fucking vag, this stinky fucking flabby vag, was wearing her prettiest clothes that she could find because She was probably saying, you know, if you ugly boa man, when it gets some money, you got to give her some. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if Vagina Rhinehardt cult is she wants them to grab her by the pussy. Ew. And so she'll throw a cool couple of mil if you throw her a couple of nights at a ski resort or something, right? And anyway, we could all sort of do slut shaming if we want to, or we could see this for what it really is, or what it might be. Okay. Someone in the comments mentioned there needs to be a royal commission to whatever weird fucking sick shit this is. Yes, please. Take the royal part out, because the royals would be involved in it. A commission would be nice. National inquiry, if you will. And what's been learnt from Nerdreich about the tech bro issue in the USA seems to have this flavour of butthurt South Africans narrowly escaping the machete as their apartheid system was dismantled, and running along now to the nearest white-dominated Anglophone countries they could find, and gradually weaseling their way, using their ill-gotten gains as capital, into the socialite circles of the various countries they went to, and basically trying to maintain their sense of toxic false entitlement as such. And with the Nerdreich, it's more than just wordplay, sadly. They talk about how there is a genuine tech industry, big saga. They're involving the military and all kinds of things. It's a bit of a weird one. But from the South African component, it is actually the case, they reckon, that Peter Thiel, David Sachs and Elon Musk went to university together. And they've been on the anti getting along with people who don't look like them brigade ever since. So it's not new. And they've engaged in numerous projects together, and they pretty much all have a fascist spin on it. And one might be prone to wonder, or many might be prone to wonder, if the South African boas, as they're sometimes known, the ones that got butthurt because they weren't allowed to abuse the native people of the country they had invaded, just quietly, or engage in human rights abuses, or just generally be rip-off artists, decided to be rip-off artists somewhere else. So it's really not that surprising when you think about it that Mr. He wanted to sterilise Aboriginal people's daughter has a bunch of South African socialites licking her vag and grabbing her by the pussy for a couple of cool mil to get in on the action. And it's quite concerning that Parmigiana wants to be like Trump as well. To the Australian mining industry, we don't care who you think you are, or who you have kissed the ass of, or had your asses kissed by, or how much money you think you have. We do not support any regime that has any of those attitudes. It took a long time for Australia to get past the White Australia policy. It took a long time for Australians to, and we're still recovering from the effects of Australian apartheid, which ended in the early 1960s, around the same time as segregation into the USA. It took a long time for that to be recovered from, and the devastation that it caused every pleb in Australia, quite frankly, is extraordinary. In particular mob, and we just can't tolerate that. On behalf of every Australian who fled a dictator like Marcos Sr., Australia says, no, we will never support Rhinehardt, we will never support Trump, we will never support the tech bros or the South African wannabes and the treasonous crap that goes with it. And it is treason. It's treason. Okay? That's attempting to manipulate based on foreign powers. Okay, they're running a cartel. That cartel needs to be broken apart. We won't have it. Thank you, Friendly Geordies, for noticing that. We will not tolerate any of them. Just like a huge proportion of the billionaires in the USA are losing billions of dollars and have done the last few months, Australian billionaires like that are going to lose all of their wealth as well. Okay, by hook or by crook, they will lose every penny they have got. Gina Rhinehardt and Mr. Parmigiana are going to wind up in the poorhouse, whether they like it or not. And those South Africans that are doing cartel behaviour will be deported, but not to South Africa, because the South Africans deserve better than that. They will be deported to Manus Island and Nauru, and vote 1 for reopening the illegal immigrant processing facility there and acknowledging that those billionaires and their South African fascist little prick cozy ass motherfuckers belong there instead of refugees. We should never have had a situation in Australia where people who were actually fleeing bombs were put in lockup for years on end, but fuckwits like that paid their way in as part of a staged ploy to re-fascistise anywhere. They are butthurt sore losers, and they're going to lose again. And all the billionaires, not just the American ones, are going to lose every cent they fucking have. And their ugly ass, racist, sexist fucking faces, okay? And she is fucking sexist because she brings shame to every woman in existence by doing what she does. So fuck you, bitch. Are going to wind up with mud on their faces, and it's going to be illegal immigrant processing fucking mud. And we're going to say this again. King Charles III will not wrestle power back by using the South Africans to usurp situations in Australia and the USA. We will not allow that. We will go towards a monarchy in Australia for this purpose alone. To bring back the death penalty for aristocrats, and aristocrats fucking only. We are sick of their crimes against humanity. We are sick of their fucking rip-offs. We don't care if the aristocracy calls themselves a corporatocracy these days, or they just wannabes. We overthrow the monarchy. We overthrow the aristocracy. We overthrow the billionaires. And we overthrow the fascist little butthurt dickheads from South Africa who think that they can undermine our democracy and our hard-won fucking gains in human rights and equality in Australia and other places around the world that were affected by such toxicity. We will not tolerate that ever again. We don't care if Hitler comes to us with a crown, or Hitler comes to us with a shovel, or Hitler comes to us with a computer. We won't tolerate it. On behalf of every Jew that came to Australia as a consequence of Hitler, we won't tolerate it. On behalf of every Aboriginal person who was affected by the stolen generation, we won't tolerate it. On behalf of every black South African that came to Australia, we won't tolerate it. On behalf of every Filipino who was affected by Marcos Sr., we won't tolerate it. On behalf of every Chilean who was affected by Pinochet, we will not tolerate it. On behalf of every Polish person who was affected by Nazi Germany, we will not tolerate it. On behalf of every French person who was affected by Nazi Germany, we will not tolerate it. On behalf of every Cambodian who was affected by Pol Pot, we will not tolerate it. We will not tolerate it. We will not tolerate this blatant disrespect and treating Australians and others like they're fucking stupid. These people are not decent and they deserve to be overthrown. We spit in their faces and steal every penny they have, and we Robin Hood it and we give it to the poor, and they will get nothing back, and they will sit there and they will sook about how people don't tolerate hate and how that's acceptable. England has no power in Australia, the USA has no power in Australia, Mao Zedong has no power in Australia, and Vladimir Putin has no power in Australia. And those billionaires have no power in Australia either. Power in Australia comes from Australian people and Australian people alone. And Australian people are made up of every single community in the world that got fucked over by one fascist or fucking communist or whatever, dictatorial piece of fucking poo, oligarch piece of shit that fucking stole everything from people and tried to murder them if they disagreed. No, we will not tolerate it. That bitch is getting kicked out of the country. She's an illegal fucking immigrant. The Constitution isn't de jure anyway. Where's the fucking treaties? She ain't got no right to be fucking mining in the first place. None of them bloody do. Get the fuck out, you bitch.